All right. What's up, guys? It's the Monday after. How you doing? How was that game? What a fucking game. Super Bowl Sunday. It was super. I'm not gonna lie, it was
Yeah,
super.
you gotta say though, and I always say this: defenses win championships.
And it showed. It showed. I mean, they got enough offense.
Both defenses were playing freaking great.
Both defenses were doing really good. They were. We're gonna go over it. I broke today's show into 3 segments. We're gonna keep that format for obviously for this one. And then that's pretty much it. So I got 3 things I'm going to break it down this show and break down Super Bowl Sunday into 3 different categories. I'm going to start out with the first one. First one being commercials, right? We all know that it is a big part of Super Bowl Sunday are the commercials that they put out every year. I mean, some of these spots, whether 30 seconds or a minute, are worth millions of dollars. If you had a grade the commercials overall that we got yesterday, what would you grade and what was your stand? I already know what you're going to say because
You already know. Come on,
it's probably going to be my answer too.
I think everybody. I think that one commercial was everybody's favorite yesterday, unless you're a Jurassic Park fan.
I'm not. We're not talking about trailers. We're not talking about trailers. Because there were a big. We had Doctor Strange TV spot. We had a few TV spots and trailers yesterday.
You creamed your pants when you saw the Doctor Strange fucking thing.
Yes, that Doctor Strange because
I was sitting there, I saw it pop up on the screen. I go, Joey just fucking popped the cherry.
Oh, that looked amazing. Really quick, Listener Jim is here. What's up, Listener Jim? Can we talk about the real question everyone has? Now I'm dying to see what this is. What the hell was 50 doing hanging upside? I got something really funny with that one. Hanging upside down in a mobile home and looking like $3. Dude needs to lay off the iron or whatever he's doing. Somebody joked around and said,
though. I mean, come on, you got that have to. I mean, I know we're gonna. I think that's the other part of one of the segments after the commercials. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but somebody summed up that performance the best by calling him inflation. 50 Cent was inflated in more ways than one, but yes.
We have inflation right now, so 50 was
exactly.
Inflated.
That was the whole joke. Yes, and he did look buff. Good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon. All right, so
see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What did you think of the commercials overall? Before you go into your favorite,
I give it a C. I give them a C. They weren't as good as they were.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the Chevy ad where all of a sudden A3 came on, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then, but the best part was I couldn't tell it at first, and then also I go, that's Jamie Lynn.
Yeah, no, you didn't know right away it was Jamie Lynn. It wasn't until towards the end when they showed you like her face, and obviously when she took her sunglasses off, you knew. But
the second frame of her when they showed it.
Yeah.
And they show her face. I go, that's Jamie Lynn.
Yeah. My brother said, oh, that's Meadow. I was like, oh, shit.
Holy shit. I said, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden you see her and AJ, and I'm like, I know his first name is Robert. I forgot his last name. Was it Isla?
Robert Isla, yes.
Robert Isla? I'll tell you, he still looks like AJ though.
He does. No, he does. He looks good. He's thin. Like he's slim. It looks exactly like they both look exactly like they did on the season finale. Doctor Strange was the highlight of the commercials. I never laughed once. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go lower than you, Mike. I'm gonna go with D. I thought these commercials were just fucking horrible.
I'll tell you one thing.
They were horrible.
There was a local commercial during the game for one of the law firms out here in the Phoenix area.
Okay.
And you know how they call them ambulance chasers, right?
Yes.
So you see the two main attorneys, and they're running after an ambulance.
Okay.
All of a sudden, the ambulance turns left.
Yeah.
And they're still running straight, and they were actually running down an ice cream truck. So they weren't ambulance chases, they were ice cream truck chases.
Hopefully not morgue chases, because that's another ice cream truck that we're not going to talk about. It's not obviously ice cream, you know what I mean. There was a few. I felt like there were commercials that had potential. They tried bringing back the E-Trade commercial with the babies.
The E-Tray Baby was good. Okay, I'm glad the
Yeah,
E-Tray Baby is
yeah.
back.
I did enjoy, although I thought it could have been better, but it was still good to see him, Jim Carrey as the cable guy, for
Yeah,
Fios.
that thing was just weird watching
It was
Jim
weird.
Carrey.
It was weird.
It was weird watching 60-year-old Jim Carrey.
But he looked good. No, but they made him look like he did in Cable Guy. Obviously, he
Yeah,
looked
but
older.
but he aged. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
I
tell
mean,
he
he's 60
aged
years
a lot.
old. He's 60 years old. Cable Guy was in the 90s. Like, what was it, 95? When did that movie come out? 95?
It was
So,
one of Menendez brothers' trial because I remember because they were doing the same thing with or what's his name, Julie Roberts' brother,
Eric?
Eric Roberts, when they were the brothers and they killed the parents.
Okay, sure.
I think it had been 95 or 96.
I'm pretty sure it was 95. But listen, I'm with Jim. I thought I didn't laugh once. There were it was maybe maybe a snicker, but the commercials for the most part, I mean, there were a couple commercials that I was like, wait a minute. There was a lot of car commercials. I will say that. But the one that wins, and I'm agreeing with you, is the Chevy commercial.
Yeah, it's a Soprano Chevy commercial. That was,
I mean, not only seeing the old Sopranos route, going through the tunnel, seeing Satriel's and some other key places, key establishments that we all saw in the Sopranos when Tony was driving around the truck.
yeah, and then the plane heading into Newark Airport.
Yeah, everything. But can we also give a round of applause? Give a round of applause. I believe it's 2007. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure 2007 was the year the finale was aired. So right. It's going to be 15 years. 15 years. She found out how to park. She parked pretty well.
She parked pretty damn good, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the spot was.
But you took like 6 times to park the fucking car outside the restaurant.
What was that? Alexis? I think that was Alexis she was driving too. But also,
was it at the restaurant though?
Yes, we talked about. Yeah.
Jesus.
The funny thing is,
please, if they could reboot everything, why can't they just reboot this show and just do AJ and Meadow and Carmelo and just see where?
So with Brandon's jumping right into the game. We're definitely going to get into the game in a minute, Brandon. I just want to go over some of the commercials, and then we're going to talk about the halftime show. But one loss does not define this team. 100% agree. Bengals will be fine for years to come, and I said this. Out of these two teams, the Bengals probably are the best shot to come back. Yeah. Well, 2 reasons.
And Brandon, another thing I take in mind too. Thank the referees for fucking throwing 9,000 flags in 25 seconds.
Yeah, there was
give the Rams the game-winning touchdown.
There was an onslaught.
That wasn't a fucking hold because I saw worse being done on the field than that fucking penalty.
Well, we could talk about one that was no call. So I mean, I get it. Yeah.
No. Higgins definitely.
Yeah, Higgins.
Higgins definitely.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to all that good stuff. But I agree. Not just Cap. You don't know who's coming back. McVay. There talks that McVay might hang in and maybe retire early.
Aaron Donald said he might retire now.
Donald might go out. You got Whitworth.
Whitworth is 40.
He's going to be 41. He's going to be 41 at the end of this year.
And how poetic is that he actually won beating his old team?
OBJ tore his ACL again. So I mean,
so bad. But you know what though? At least he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
I'm glad he got the touchdown. I'm glad he got the touchdown.
As much as I hate OBJ for what he did with the Giants.
Yeah. No, I was happy for him.
I was happy for him. Because it's like I said 1,000 times. He went to a team where he wasn't, and every time I say it, Juwan shakes his head in disbelief that I say it. But it's the truth. What? He wasn't the focal point.
Oh, 100%.
He was the focal point in New York. He was the focal point in Cleveland.
Yeah. He can't be a number one guy. He can't be a number one guy.
2.
Yeah, he can't be a number one guy.
And he knew Cooper Kupp was the number one guy, and he knew that.
At this stage of his career,
made him a better player this year.
At this stage of his career, I do not think he could be a number one guy. When he was on the Giants, he can 100% be a number one guy. I mean, be it as may, he didn't come up in some big spots for the Giants, but he was also an electric player to watch. So, again, we're going to get to that. But I know I missed a bunch. YouTube TV seemed to miss some, or I was busy and didn't notice some. You didn't, dude. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much anyway.
As long as you saw the Soprano ad for the Chevy commercial with the truck,
But
It's okay.
besides what we're talking about, you know, the Fios with the cable guy thing, and you know, the Chevy commercial with Jamie Lynn and Robert Eiler, Meadow, and AJ from The Sopranos. What were some of your? Were there any ones that you guys thought stood out that we either missed or we just didn't think? I don't know how you don't jam up Cup at the line and double team him on that last drive, but Stafford proved he was worth the trade after last night. I agree. I do agree. All right.
Look, and you said it best when the trade was made, and we both said it, in fact. For this trade to be done, this was Super Bowl or bust.
Super Bowl bust, 100%.
And not making it, winning it.
All right, let's get into it. Now, this was we already knew. Yeah, I mean, dude, come on. I mean, this is going to be another show to begin with. You know, I'm going to be at one point. I'm going to break down and do whatever. I'm just waiting for some other people to be available.
He's going to do, folks, you know he's going to do spoiler shows.
We're going to be talking about this. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Don't worry about it. But look, we already knew who was performing. We had one surprise, and we already talked about him popping up, hanging up upside down in 50 Cent. But for the most part, we already knew the big guns that were coming through. Mary J, Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar. I feel like I'm missing something. No, that's it. And obviously 50 gave us a surprise appearance, which me and my brother said, I wonder if we're going to get 50. It makes sense.
50 was going to show up, though.
It makes sense. And I'm glad. What did you think of the halftime show overall?
I loved it.
You did?
20-something-year-old Mike came out, and I was sitting in the wheelchair, and all of a sudden I just started dancing in the fucking wheelchair for like a half an hour.
I get it. Look, these are all iconic songs, and I'm glad they chose the songs. I mean, I wouldn't have minded because he did it for the what do you call it? The trailer for the performance. He was singing Rap God. I wouldn't have minded hearing something a little bit newer. But you know, he did Lose Yourself, which is fine. I mean, that's one of his main songs. But you know, and I was also, and even my brother said, I wonder if they're going to do Forgot About Dre. You know, him and Dre were going to collaborate. It was great hearing all the songs. Mary J sang a couple of her classics, which I love.
And No Drama.
Right. You know, Dre did his.
Which
Snoop.
If you have a wife or a girlfriend and watch a soap opera, that is the Young and the Restless theme song being played on that one in the track.
Okay, cool. Snoop did, Snoop did a few of his classics. Kendrick, I'm not really into as far as so I had no idea. I know his music.
Listen to his music.
I know his music, but I didn't know the song he was playing. That's a really good song. I like Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier is good. It's not my favorite, but definitely a good song. I'm not gonna lie though, it didn't blow me away. I was expecting. So here's the thing. We all got the songs that they're known for. We got the songs that we love. So as far as the songs go, as far as their performances go, I thought it was good, right? But it wasn't. It was literally like watching your favorite star, but with like no electricity. With like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no electricity to the performances, at least from my point.
Well, Snoop looked like he was having a ball.
No, they all looked like they were enjoying. They looked like they were enjoying being there, and they were having a good time. You know, and I like the set.
Snoop was there. He was high as fuck. He was.
Well, you know that. I like the set was to mirror like a house party, because you know you have house parties, whatever. So they were all on top of houses. So I liked it, but it just, to me, I was really, you know what it was when they dropped the trailer for the performers for this halftime show. I was so hyped. I was like more than I've been in years when it came to halftime performances. So I couldn't wait to see them on stage. I really couldn't. And I thought maybe they were going to do one big collab at the end, like they were going to do one big song or whatever. But it wasn't even that. Forget about the fact that they didn't all collaborate in one big song. It was the individual performances that just felt lackluster to me. Again, it might just be me. Let me guys, let me know what you thought.
I just wish one thing they do next year, and please NFL do this and make me happy. Please get Led Zeppelin to come on stage and perform.
They're dead, aren't they?
No, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page are still alive.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, that's
them
horrible.
On stage with Jason Bonham, John Bonham's son on
you
the
heard
drums.
what I just said? I'm like, they're dead.
They're dead? No, they're not dead.
All right. Well, I don't. Well, not
Please, I want Led Zeppelin just one more time before they die.
well. Plant and Page are still alive, like you said, right? But there are other band members that didn't survive.
Well,
Correct.
John Bonham. I mean, that's the whole reason why the band broke up is with John Bonham dying. He OD'd back in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. America's Got Talent Extreme looked kind of cool. Wait, was it America Got Talent? I thought there was another one. America. I thought they were debuting another show with America something with Kelly Clarkson and
oh yeah, that's a music thing they're doing. It's kind of like going to replace The Voice.
Something like that. But I know Kelly's with it, whatever. Hold on, really quick, and then we're gonna get to the game. I think I will always be spoiled in my mind. Prince singing and playing his ass off in the rain. It will never be topped in my world. Yeah, I mean, and that's what you said. That's what I'm saying. Like you get these iconic performances, like Prince, like Michael Jackson, and
like Justin Timberlake showing Janet Jackson's titty on a Sunday afternoon.
Sure. Yeah.
Whipping out a titty on a Sunday.
I'll even go down that route. But
that's a bad Chris Rock impression.
As far as the halftime show, it was all right. It was all right. But and again, it's funny. It's what sucks is they were from artists that, like I said, were iconic, and I couldn't wait to see on the big screen on the stage.
It was better than the guy they had last year. Well,
I don't mind the Weeknd. I like the Weeknd.
Well, I mean, all right, that one song I like by him.
No, I like a lot of songs by The Weeknd, and I liked his performance. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Even Lady Gaga's performance a few years ago wasn't that bad. I can't remember how long ago. I know it was a good amount of time ago, but it was at least, I'm assuming, recent. All right, let's get to the game. Let's do it. Whoever bet tails lost. I know Pat McAfee.
Whoever bet orange Gatorade lost.
I know. Orange Gatorade lost. Pat McAfee lost 40 grand on the tails call because it was heads. Imagine Dragons would be my pick next year. All right. That's not bad. Imagine Dragons aren't bad. Mike, what'd you think of the game? I mean, you said it. Defense wins your championships, right?
I didn't have a dog in the fight. I mean, I would have been pleased with who would have won the game.
I said the same thing. I know I'm wearing Rams.
Something at the end of the game got me thinking. I was going to text you, and I was going to say, you know what? I said, no, let me bring this up while we're live, because if I say this and I say I want to do it live, you're going to stop me as usual.
All right. So you're basically hijacking the show.
Give me 3 to 5 minutes. All I need.
3 to 5 minutes will turn 20 minutes to you. But go ahead. What happened?
The NFL needs to start doing this. And after what I saw yesterday, Roger Goodell needs to look at some teams. You're looking at a man who had a 13-year career in Detroit, just won the Super Bowl. Roger Goodell has to get a little bit forceful with these teams. And I'm talking Detroit,
I get it.
Jacksonville, Jets. I'll even put our Giants.
Giants aren't there yet, but I get the direction. I get the direction you're going. Dude, there's no way Mara has the same mindset as the owners of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, well, McAdoo.
The Detroit Lions haven't been a meaningful franchise since the fucking 90s.
Okay, but here's the thing. Roger Goodell has to look at a certain handful of teams. Detroit, Jacksonville, the Jets, Houston, maybe and I'll put the Giants in because for the last Texans, 5 years, I don't even know. 5 years they look like shit. They haven't been in the playoffs.
I don't even know if you include the Texans in this conversation. And the only reason why I say that is just a few years ago when they had guys like DeAndre Hopkins.
And then you got rid of Hopkins, you got rid of Watt, and now you look like shit for 2 years. So
I know, but
what Roger Goodell has to look into is.
Listen to Jim is right. How scary would they be? 7 sacks, and it could have very well been 8.
Yeah, that offensive line looked like shit. But here's the thing. What Goodell needs to do is to look into. All right, I'll say those 3 teams in particular: Detroit, Jacksonville, Jets.
Okay,
and say, look.
See, I don't even know if the Jets are in that conversation.
Yeah, they are.
The Jets are just bad.
They are.
The Jets are just bad.
And that's what I mean. They refuse to fix their franchises.
I don't think you know what it is.
We all knew Matthew Stafford was a good quarterback. Yesterday, he was a great quarterback. for that game. Throughout the whole playoffs, he was great.
Debbie, look,
And
Brandon, really.
but here's what Goodell needs to do.
God.
He needs to tell Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He needs to tell the Jets, and he needs to tell Detroit. We're giving you a 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get either 9 wins or get into the playoffs within those 5 years, we're going to make you sell your franchise to somebody who will want to own this team the right way.
I don't know.
No, they shouldn't be allowed to own a fucking franchise.
I don't know.
If they're going to play like shit, because they're not only that, the city, the people that live in that city want to see a winning team.
I understand
you get
that,
to sit there and watch shit all day.
Dude, you're talking about, let's say you owned a team. You're an NFL owner, right?
Right.
If you don't want your fucking team to make you money, what do you care? What should somebody else care about what you're doing with your own team? That's your investment.
If your team though looks like shit year after year, and you go 2-14 and 2-6 and 2-14 or 1-15 every fucking year for the last 3-4 years.
There's no excuse in the NFL because you can't say it's like, all right, well, look at the Yankees and look at the Mets now, obviously now as of recent with the way they're spending. You can turn around and say, well, you don't really have big market teams in the NFL because it's a shared revenue. So I don't understand why teams like the Lions are either just making really bad choices or what's the end game? What's the benefit, I should say, actually? What's the benefit of the Detroit Lions owner going in the direction that this team has been doing for decades? I don't get it. How do you benefit from that?
Sell the fucking team.
I don't know. Really quick, Logan Wilson made a clean play. That's all I'll say. The only thing I'll say there is there was a little bit of a hold. It could have been called, but
even a hold. He
but the way
put his pinky on around his waist.
No, look. If you grab jersey, they're going to call it a hold, but they weren't calling it all game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think there was I think Burrow threw a pass in the end zone. I think it was to Boyd, and the guy pulled the shirt a little bit under the uniform.
Yeah.
And nothing was called.
I don't know. They weren't calling.
Stopped Boyd from catching the ball.
We didn't get our first flag, with the exception of what do you call it? Delay of game. We didn't get our first flag until the fourth quarter.
It was a well officiated game until after the 2-minute warning, and then for 25 seconds, all you had was fucking flags.
I wouldn't say it was a well officiated game. You get into the third quarter, at the start of it, and you get what do you call it? What was it? Higgins, right? Higgins.
Right. But I already said though, Jalen Ramsey's head was taken off by Higgins.
Higgins literally dressed up in all black, like he was part of Black Ops. Went behind Ramsey and went like that and snapped the guy's neck. I thought Ramsey was dead.
Yeah, Ramsey wasn't dead.
So look,
I thought he tripped at first, but then when they showed the
and then they showed the replay. I mean, that was a clear face mask. And a touchdown ensued from that. So yeah, the call from the call on Logan Wilson might have been ticky tack 100%. I'm gonna agree with you.
And they got thrown the factor though once Odell came out of the game.
Yeah,
it took McVay and Stafford to figure out. Jesus, I mean, until that final play.
Nick's not wrong. Might as well throw the Bears into that mix too, Mike, with the owners.
I would too. Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, Bears, good call, Nick. Good call on the Bears.
I forgot about the Bears, but but that's the whole thing. If you're gonna own a franchise and you ain't gonna do nothing to improve that team year after year. Now look, the Giants. All right, maybe this time it's gonna be different. Maybe they'll get 6, 7, 8 wins. I'll be happy with 8 wins right now. But if you can't break 4 wins every fucking year, then you shouldn't own. Then you should not own a franchise.
Well, and that's the other thing though too that you got to think about. And he's right. It's a shared revenue. So if one team isn't generating revenue, that they're not adding their fair share to the pot. So again, I don't know. I honestly don't know how it works, but I just don't know what the thought process is for owners of the teams like Detroit Lions, or you want to put in the Chicago Bears, although the Chicago Bears actually made a Super Bowl about 15 years ago, right? So you know, they're only 15 years removed from being not even. They were just in the playoffs a few years. They probably they might have even went a little further. Fucking what was it? Parker? Who was the field goal kicker that just like he was hated in Chicago? Something I want to say Parker Posey, but it's obviously not Parker Posey. That's a fucking actress.
It's not Parker Posey. It's baseball.
Yeah. Oh, Parker Posey's not an actress. What the fuck am I talking about? That's baseball. What the fuck? No, that's Buster Posey, you dummy. Buster Posey.
Parker Posey is the actress.
Parker Posey is the actor. I knew. Yeah, you're the one that corrected me. So really quick, and 100%, you could tell that there was like a deflated Rams team. It was just like literally just sucking the soul out of that team when Odell went down with that injury because they couldn't move the ball. Granted, I know they didn't have that many points at that point, but they were still moving the ball. Fuck, what's his face? Henderson was getting passes. He was getting easily open because what Odell was creating was that decoy because he was getting the ball. He had already had the touchdown, right? Mm-hmm. They were obviously doubling up Kupp. Kupp wasn't getting open. So you had Odell. Odell goes down. Now you're not moving the ball. So, and they couldn't run the ball for shit.
And the only one that he was throwing to that was actually making it was Hopkins.
Yeah.
Both run games were stopped completely.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. But I think what happened, Jim, after that, like I said, because they weren't able to move the ball very well, I think they had to just adjust. Something happened. Something happened because Kupp was just magically getting open, especially on that 15-play drive, which pretty much put them ahead. I mean, like you said, Hoskins, is it Hopkins or Hoskins?
I think it was Hopkins.
Either one, the tight end, right? Yeah. He got a couple of passes.
And if Higbee didn't get hurt, he actually wasn't even going to be on the team.
I know. But yeah,
but I mean, like once you took Odell out, it took McVay and Stafford 28 minutes to figure out what to do, and then all of a sudden, once I started seeing Kupp started getting throws, I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go.
Wide open. I mean, the guy just gets open, and that's why he got the MVP. But dude, let's also talk about really quick the huge 4th-and-1 stop that they made. I mean, the Bengals elected to go. What was it? Early in the first? What was it? 10 minutes to go in the first quarter,
and that's when Odell scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
Once and I kept texting you because I had a 6-player thing going, and I had Odell and Kupp, and then Higgins, and then I'm like, all right, I'm 3 for 3 over here.
They were comfortable with that 3rd and goal from the 8. Yeah. That was the one. What was that? With the 3rd and goal, was that when Mixon threw the touchdown?
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about? You're talking about the Rams 3rd and goal. Bengals usually play bend over 8, but they were comfortable with that 3rd and goal from 8. Maybe he's talking about the Rams. I know. I know Mixon got. I can't remember. I know it was Mixon to Higgins with under 6 to go in the half, which cut the lead to 13-10.
Yeah, but then once that happened, and then he wasn't throwing to Boyd. I was like,
Rams.
Okay,
Boyd, all right, it was Rams.
Boyd ain't going throw. I said Boyd ain't getting thrown to, and then the run games, forget it. And then I said, okay, I'm dead.
So 3rd and 8, 3rd and goal from the 8 was when the holding call on Logan Wilson on what do you call it? What's his face? Not Logan Wilson. Yeah, I was right, Logan Wilson. And then they made it, and then don't forget the pass interference. So there was a holding call there, and there was a pass interference in the end zone.
And I remember that, and then remember on the first down, there was a double penalty.
Yeah, it was offsetting
the first down.
Offsetting penalties.
There was 2 flags. He had 4 or 5 flags within less than 30 seconds. I mean, 30 seconds in football time is like 5 10 minutes.
I know. No, you're right. They threw the majority of the flags. If there was 5 flags thrown the whole entire game, 3 or 4 of them came within the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. And then basically the refs gave them that fucking game.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think so, because the defense was playing well enough for the Rams to stop the Bengals in the second half. But if you want to take that final touchdown away because of the refs gifting them a touchdown, then you got to take away the touchdown that Higgins got on that bogus 75-yard bomb.
Yeah, but you can't take away that. But you messed up on a holding call. That wasn't a hold.
Right. And you messed up on not calling an obvious face mask.
So with 2 minutes, all right. So with minute 35 left in the game, in the fourth quarter, this is when you decide to gift back a fucking
No.
penalty?
I'm not saying that. Again, I'm not arguing the fact that they were throwing stupid flags. I'm not arguing that. But if you really want to take that win away from the Rams predicated on officiating, then you can't also at the same time agree that it was also bad officiating that put the Bengals on top.
This just shows more and more every day that my fucking idea of having New York review fucking
There's no
penalties
reason why they don't, because I forgot what
should be done.
I forgot what it was, but they stopped play for something. I forgot what it was. Something stupid. I can't remember what it was, and I wanted to remember because I wanted to bring it up on air. But the NFL, the booth is looking at something, but it had nothing to do with like a play or a penalty, whatever. And I'm like, if they could fucking stop time, if New York wants to have a look at that,
here's the thing:
why isn't New York having a look?
Why does New York get to review every scoring play, but they can't review a penalty, whether it's a penalty or not?
They should. If you want to talk about slowing down the game, doing this, they slow down the game anyway with scoring reviews. So what's the big deal? That was a scoring play. That Higgins penalty that should have been called. That was a scoring play. There were, and so on and so forth. But again, whatever. And we talked about that. The mix and throw to Higgins was cool. They tried doing fucking fancy shit later in the game on 3rd and fucking 5, the Cooper Cup to fucking Stafford, which I was just fucking screamed at the television. You're down in the Super Bowl, 3rd and 5. It's no time to get crafty, McVay. No time to get crafty. So I was a little pissed at that. Stafford's look, the one mistake that I will say Stafford made was that deep pass for an interception, which again, especially after the penalty with the
and I texted you that. I say classic Stafford.
I mean, yeah, but the stupid penalty by the Bengals for coming on the field celebrating in plain clothes. What were you thinking? So it made it literally
that guy's inactive, and even Collinsworth said that guy's gonna be inactive for a while.
Came out. He came on the field in sandals.
What the fuck were you thinking?
So that was literally just as good as a punt. And then the
you know what's funny though? Like before the game, they gave like all the picks from NBC.
Yeah.
And everybody picked LA.
Right.
And also Chris Collinsworth's son.
Yeah.
Picked Cincinnati, and they didn't dawn on me. I said, of course he would pick Cincinnati. He grew up in Cincinnati.
Motherfucker. But the second interception, I don't really put too much fault on Stafford. That was off of Skoronek's hands. He had a huge fucking drop in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers where he was wide open in the end zone, just dropped it. I mean, the pass probably could have been a little bit better, a little bit more on the money. But look, if it touches your hands.
We talked about too is that those tipped interceptions shouldn't count against the quarterback, but it does.
Either way, but that was a huge swing because it took 12 seconds. In the third quarter, the start of the third quarter, 12 seconds to score a touchdown, a 75-yard bomb. Then you get the ball back immediately and you get a field goal. So they got 10 points in a matter of minutes. Not even. So that was a huge swing for the Bengals. And I thought at that point it was over. I really did. Especially because, as we said, Odell just went down with the injury right before the halftime show didn't really pick me up as much. So, but I will say this, though. It's just insane. And sometimes it's fate. Sometimes it's not. But Boyd, here you got a guy like Boyd who hadn't had one single drop all year on a crucial 3rd and 9. If they make this catch, if he makes that catch and turns it into a first down, they can kill a lot more clock. And the Rams probably don't get the ball back, to take the lead. But a huge 3rd and 9 to go when they were up 20-16. How much time was left? But yeah, not one single drop all season. 3rd and 9 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And he drops the ball. Yeah. I know the play.
Yeah. So then on the other side of the ball, Rams are driving 4th and 1. Who would they give it to? Jet sweep Cooper Cup. And let me tell you something. You look at the replay. Dude probably should have been stopped 2 or 3 yards before the marker. and he just made some type of cut, some type of miracle, got past them, and I think he ended up running for 7 yards on that play. So they got the first down, and we all know what happened after that. Then it became the Stafford and Cup touchdown show, and they go up 23-20 with 1:25 to go. But then Aaron Donald steps in, just like he did 2 weeks prior against the 49ers. And he basically said, and this happened throughout pretty much for the game. Look, they got to the quarterback 7 times. There were a lot more hurries than that. The last final play, as I said, could have very easily been that 8th and NFL record sack in the Super Bowl, because it was they tied the record with 7. But Burrow was able to get the ball out. But, dude, forget about the final play where he swung around Burrow to end the game. But after the completion, I can't remember who it was to. I don't know if it was Chase or Boyd or Higgins. It was one of them, right? It was on first down, so you got 2nd and 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or third and 1. They go for the run with I said his name earlier with the
Pirine.
Pirine. Why the fuck can I think of his name? They go for it on 3rd and 1 with Pirine, and Donald just pulls him back with all his might. Dude, he looked like he had it. He fucking had it. I thought
he had it. No, he had it. If Donald didn't,
dude, Donald just fucking pulls him back with all his might, stops him. 4th and 1, made the probably the biggest play of the game, and then of course he follows it up with hurrying what do you call it, Burrow, swinging him around, and Burrow just fucking throws it up. And Pirine actually had a shot at that too. I thought Pirine was going to end up catching it, but it just falls on the floor. And then obviously we all know it. That's the game. Look, I'm glad it wasn't a blowout.
Look, it's like you said. Let Stafford get his 1 and Bo can have the next.
Stafford got the 1. And who was it that said it earlier? It was Brandon, right? I agree with Brandon. This is a team that's probably going to just get better. They're probably going to upgrade the O-line a little bit. I would assume they would.
They would need to, yeah. After
their defense is already good.
You had 9 sacks. Tennessee sacked them 9 times.
Tennessee stacked them 9 times.
And I said, and what did I say?
What did KC? How many times did KC get at Burrow?
Not too many.
Right? No, because I think it was 2 at that point. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was sacked. I think the graphic on the screen before the Super Bowl started, I think he was sacked 11 times. So if he was sacked 9 times by Tennessee, that means I think he was sacked overall 2.
Yeah. But what did I say when they were playing Kansas City? And I said this.
Yeah.
They're not playing Ryan Tannehill.
Right.
You're going to sack him 7 times or 9 times in a game, and you can't beat Cincinnati?
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on Tannehill. He got sacked 7 times.
Yeah. Tannehill had his own problems with his interceptions.
But Stafford took advantage when it was needed.
Yes.
With those 7 sacks when needed.
Yeah, when needed. A couple of really good passes to Kupp. That one really good pass to what do you call it, Odell before he went down with an injury. Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree. But as we were saying, I think the Bengals are built to keep this up. Again, their defense is built very well. Look how they got to Stafford. Stafford wasn't just the what do you call it, the Rams that showed good defense. It was also the Bengals. So the Bengals have a good defense. They obviously have a really good offensive weapons in Boyd, Higgins, Chase, Mixon, which I think they should have ran a little bit more because Mixon was getting good yardage.
Here's the thing, though, and Collinsworth said it. I don't know his name, but he was on number 94 on the defense line. One of the linebackers. I don't know his name. Okay. But every time he was in on a run,
right,
Mixon wasn't going nowhere.
Okay. All right, so they figured it out. But on that final drive, if you remember, a couple of key runs came from Mixon.
Oh, yeah.
No, not on the final drive. I'm sorry. On the drive right before they gave the ball back, the 6-minute mark, where Boyd made that drop. Mm-hmm. Before they threw to Boyd, before they got to 3rd and 9, they were running the ball with Mixon. So yeah, because that's what I thought their game plan was. I was like, they're eating clock here, because Mixon was eating and he was getting the drive and he was doing whatever.
And then Boyd fucked it up for everything.
Yeah, I mean, again, uncharacteristic. I mean, there was not one single drop all year. I mean, how many NFL receivers can say that? I mean, that's just amazing. But yeah, so again, Brandon pointed out the Bengals have 5th most cap space in the NFL, so they have the means and they have the room to make some acquisitions. Who knows what they do in the draft? But again, you have an offensive team, an offensive juggernaut like that with Burrow and all his weapons. You add some help on the O-line. How do you stop this team?
We kept saying, this is Patrick's, league over
not
here.
Anymore. Not anymore.
This is Patrick's conference.
Not anymore.
As much as I love Patrick, this kid's going to be a problem for Patrick, and he's already been a problem for Patrick twice.
Well, here's the reason why. Look, if you just took Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes and just isolate them, you say, all right, which one are you going to take? I'm going to take Patrick. I'm not going to lie. I'll take Patrick. At this stage in their career, I'll take Patrick. Joe needs to be in the NFL a little bit more. He's already, Joe, don't get me wrong, Joe's already proven that he can win.
And what a snazzy dresser he is.
Yeah, very snazzy dresser. But the problem with that, though, with the Chiefs is as fast as they are and the way they're built with guys like Kelsey and Tyreek, right? Their defense is hard. Their defense is not as good as it used to be. The Bengals are more complete. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the Chiefs have Mahomes.
Look, all they got to do is just fix up the defense, the offensive line a little bit. Something that another team should be doing this offseason. But, we'll see the intelligence in that.
Yeah.
But if they just put a couple of guys on the offensive line, they can protect Burrow a little more, especially on the outsides. Get those blind sides taken care of.
That's it.
That's all you need.
And I have already said this. I know I'm wearing the Rams hoodie, and I was definitely pulling for the Rams. That was also because it was more of Stafford. I was going more for Stafford than I was the Rams. If Stafford's not on the Rams, let's pretend they still have Goff or maybe somebody else. I'm probably going for Burrow on the Bengals, to be honest with you. I am. I liked their story. It was an underdog story. They weren't supposed to be there. You got Joe Cool and all that young talent on that team. Of course I'm going for the fucking Bengals. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have minded if the Bengals would have won. But I'm glad Stafford, because look, Stafford just needed this. He needed it more than any player in the NFL, I really think. He needed to show the NFL and all its haters that, look, I was just on a really bad fucking team. And yeah, he still makes his mistakes. We've seen 2 of them, which I'll argue one of them was definitely on him. He makes his mistakes, but he also, I think, has proven that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. So hopefully that helps him, when it comes to time.
Like I said, he was always good, except he played for a shitty franchise, which in turn goes back to my theory that we need to start looking. I'm not saying do investigations. I'm not saying go looking in and see.
No, but this is the argument that the MLB, dude, you're not saying anything wrong. But this is the argument MLB players have about owners tanking or owners not giving a shit about organizations and just always in constant rebuild mode. And something needs to be done. So I'm not saying you're wrong here. I'm not. I don't know what.
I mean, you figure Jacksonville has the number 1 pick almost every year. You figure by now they should have a fucking juggernaut after all these years.
You would think. And you have an owner that looks like he wants to spend money.
And as much as I love the Cons, because, of Tony and what he did for AEW, just looking at them, though, is like, nothing against Shad Khan, but, and like I said, nothing against the owners of Detroit and, who owns the Jets?
Woody Johnson.
Woody Johnson. No offense to them, but
I almost said Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Woody from Toy Story.
Cheers. From Cheers.
Cheers. No, but I'm saying no offense to them, but do something to, like I said, we as fans, like, okay, I don't live out there anymore, but if you went to Giant Stadium, or MetLife now. If you went to MetLife Stadium and you watched what we saw this year on the field,
I understand that. We talked about that. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
And that's why I said put the Giants in with them, because Mara doesn't look like he doesn't give a shit either, because he just walks around.
I honestly think
there's a difference
between
we finished 4-13. Here's a free fucking soda.
there's a difference between being incompetent, which I think is their case, than being purposeful in what they do. I don't think the Giants are doing that. The Giants were never known to be
Yeah.
a franchise or organization like that. So that's
Yeah,
why.
but I mean, like when you look at somebody like Detroit or Jacksonville, or even as Nick said, the Bears,
Yeah.
you gotta start scratching your head now and going, okay, what the fuck are they doing over here?
Yeah. Also keep an eye out on Gronk. Yeah, no, Gronk has made a statement that he wants to play. Dude, can you imagine? But here's the thing, though, Brandon, really quick, let me know what happens as far as Uzuma. Is he still in contract, or is he a free agent? Because is that something that we would see? Uzuma and Gronk on the field at the same time? Can you imagine Joe Burrow having Gronk? What the fuck?
You
Wow.
put Gronk on the right, Uzuma on the left, and
Although if rumors are true about Brady possibly coming back to Tampa, I don't know. I don't know if Gronk plays for another team, so I don't know about that. But guys, I do want to cut to today's stream. I wanted to stay around 45 minutes. I really only want to talk about those three things. We'll probably come back on if there's any other NFL news as far as maybe with Aaron Rodgers and what decision he makes in the upcoming weeks. And of course, draft coming up. So we'll probably do some more with that.
We'll do our draft show again, probably.
So, guys, stay tuned for that. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. Obviously, if you guys were going for the Bengals, I know you're down. But again, I think there's a silver lining to it all. And we've all said it. This team is young. This team looks like they know how to win. I think they'll be just fine. So that being said, Mike, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Do you want to plug? I'm pretty sure the link to your channel is in the stream. So do you want to plug your channel really quick?
Yeah, well, we had episode 43 of Coming Down the Aisle, the 1-year anniversary special.
Yeah.
Started a new 3-man unit with me, James, and Dylan.
Yeah.
Went very good. Our friend Crayon Dude was in the house as well there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing good. And we're, next Saturday, we're going to be on at 5 o'clock Eastern because there's a pay-per-view on. We're all going to watch, and then we're going to come on after the pay-per-view and
all right,
run down on that. But yeah, ever since Dylan joined the team, though, I mean, the last few times, I'm picking up some.
There's a formula. There's a formula to that. Isn't there a formula to that? What is the formula?
Dylan equals ratings.
There you go. Stick to that formula, and you can't go wrong. But all right, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy your evening. Happy Valentine's Day to all you ladies out there. Hit me up if you want. I'm joking, but I'm not. Mike, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy your Valentine's Day with your beautiful wife. And everybody else, have a great day. We'll see you